I think as this video is kind of going over, it sounds like I'm really like adverse to this movie, but I actually really enjoyed it. I loved watching this movie, and I do think that they had to create a conflict in which that their accountability needed to be played out, but they just didn't do. Yeah, they just didn't do. I didn't think they executed the way that I felt that it should have been executed for good story disposition. Something that would have been true to the characters. Because right now, the biggest thing with Iron Man is that Robert Downey Jr. sells the movies. He's a fan favorite. People love him. People love the Iron Man suit. Of course. But if you just break down to the nuts and bolts of his character, he's a guy that has spent the Marvel Cinematic Universe trying to just like sidestep the responsibility and accountability. Yeah. Anytime he does something, it's just like, oh, well, we'll just give $1 million to MIT students so they can have free scholarships to make tech. You're like, oh, great. They're just not going to focus.
Tony Stark's in the clear again. Look at that.
Yeah, the guy used to sell, used to be a gun,
a weapons manufacturer.
Yeah, a gun trafficker, a weapons manufacturer. Even when he created the Iron Man suits, like we watched Iron Man 2 just recently, and like the idea is just like that he would get tech and he would steal it, and then he would make it better, and then he would just move on. And then he was just such a wild child in it too. Like he didn't take any accountability when he was just like, well, I'm dying, so I guess I can just do whatever I want. I can throw a party and pee in my suit and do all this stuff. And
then fight with War Machine at my own birthday party.
Yeah. And then it was like, oh, well, instead, so people don't get really upset with me, I'll just privately finance the Avengers team. Oh, since I'm privately financing the Avengers team, why can't it's like if he's the one
I'm
signing
privately
their
financing,
paychecks, just like,
I'm gonna be on it.
We're signing the Sokovia Accords. you guys are collecting paychecks from me. You're living in my house. You guys need to sign this thing.
So, side topic, where's Pepper?
Oh, so Pepper.
There were too many characters in
I know. Went back to the too many characters.
Too many characters.
Too many characters.
Yeah.
Don't even talk about Pepper.
Gwyneth Paltrow wanted out of her contract.
She wanted out of her contract.
I think she was done with these movies.
Yeah, she's
so they just that's their crappy way.
Well, her and Natalie Portman both don't want to do future movies.
Yeah, I heard that there's a new love interest in the newest Ragnarok. Or whatever.
It might be, maybe. I'm not sure. I mean,
she might.
It's not to say that they're
hot chick.
They're not upset. Like I don't think like Gwyneth Paltrow or Natalie Portman like were upset with the fact that with the way that the movies are. It's just that how would you like to know that the next 10 years of your life is just filming these movies? I would love it.
But I don't know. Did Natalie Portman act in this third movie?
No, she's not.
She wasn't even in.
She's not going to be in Ragnarok.
Yeah, the last one that she was in the
Dark World.
The Dark World, and then that was it.
Contractually obligated to do that one, so she had to be in it.
Oh man! So, does that mean that we're gonna see what Marvel's been doing to the Hulk movies, and they're just gonna get another actor but play the same character?
Well, I don't know. They would have to do something different because they'd have to do the whole Mark Ruffalo, Edward Norton type thing. Because if you're up to date with the current Thor right now, Jane Foster is the new Thor in the comics. So it's like Natalie Portman would be wielding Mjolnir.
Yeah, they're constantly, like going back to that, they're constantly changing them to female or making them gay or changing.
Well, it's a cool refresh on characters that are 50 to 60 years old. I mean, think about it. Like we've never really had a comic book age where we have characters that have lasted this long or been that endearing. Most people just kind of like 10, 15 years, they do their run and they're gone. But it's the Silver Age things of like Spider-Man, Captain America, Fantastic Four, Batman, Superman, like all these characters that have just existed for multi-generations. How do you keep telling the same story over and over and over again?
What I'd like is
a recasting is a smart thing to do.
Like I'd like them to retire a character and call him something.
Any more Iron Man or Captain America stories?
I'm
not signing up for that.
Call him something different. I mean, because Thor is his name. That is his individual name. Captain America.
You will find in Ragnarok that this is a centricular thing. This whole like death and rebirth has happened over and over again. So Thor is not necessarily like, there's only been one Thor. There might have been multiple Thors like over the time.
Okay, that makes more sense.
And Thor is, on top of just being his name, it's also a title and a rite of passage. So they do explain that.
Okay, that fits a bit better then. Because that's the main issue I have is them recasting an individual and calling them the same name. That's what I was thinking was going on.
Yeah, that is really tough. And you can say
and
the same
unless
thing
you
with,
like
Sam
dive
Wilson.
into it, you don't really know.
Yeah, and so you can say the same thing in the comic books where they have Sam Wilson, the Falcon, and he's now the new Captain America.
I think they've got...
Miles
are
Morales
we on the
is
fourth
the
or third Captain
current
America?
Spider-Man right now, too, in the Marvel comic book universe, which is really good. I was kind of hoping that when they brought in Spider-Man for the MCU, they would have used Miles Morales, but... this Peter Parker is really cool, but we'll get into that.
You know what we forgot to do? You look in the camera and you're going to say what your name is.
Oh, I'm Kellen Park.
I'm Kelly Huffaker.
Is that how you're supposed to actually say your name? I never know how to say your name.
Huffaker? Yeah.
Yeah. I always
Everybody
thought
says
it
Huffaker.
Yeah, Huffaker.
Everybody in the world
Name
says
doesn't start with a
Huffaker.
K.
Yeah,
I know, it's great. My name
Yeah.
is Tyler Johnson.
And he's a black sheep.
Yeah.
Apparently. I'm blonde. I don't have, a name that starts with a K.
For this video, your name's Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I don't need this. Rip off the microphone and then you leave.
No, your name is Kel after Keenan and Kel. Kellen, Kelly, Kel.
Yeah, exactly.
It's smaller.
we can't really do that because we'd get termed the KKK.
Only you would go there. The white, blue-eyed blonde.
Yeah, you
White supremacy.
damn Aryan nation.